Have you ever dreamed of visiting a far-off destination, only to find out that getting a visa feels like trying to solve a complex puzzle? For Australians, this can be a reality with certain countries, whether it's due to tricky diplomatic relations, security concerns, or just plain complicated visa processes. Some places make it really hard for Aussies to visit. In this video, we're diving into the top 10 countries where Australians face the biggest headaches when trying to get a visa in 2024. Stick around. This is important if you're planning your next big adventure. Number 1. Iran. First up is Iran. It's a place full of history, stunning architecture, and deep cultural roots. But for Aussies, getting a visa to visit Iran can feel like trying to unlock a really complicated safe. The visa process here is anything but straightforward. You'll need to gather a stack of paperwork, including a detailed itinerary and proof of where you'll be staying. And even if you do everything right, your application could still get denied, without much of an explanation. If you're determined to go, just know that you'll need to follow the local laws and customs to the letter. No room for error here. But if you can make it through all that, you'll be rewarded with an unforgettable journey through one of the world's most culturally rich regions. Number 2. North Korea. North Korea is next on our list. And let's be honest, it's one of the most mysterious and tightly controlled countries out there. Visiting North Korea is possible, but it's far from easy. Everything has to be done through state-approved tour operators, and you won't be allowed to explore on your own. Every step you take will be monitored by government guides, and your itinerary will be as rigid as it gets. The visa process? Well, it's pretty secretive, and you might not even know why your application was accepted or rejected. If you do get in, the experience is unlike anything else, almost like stepping into a different era. But be aware, it's a stark reminder of what life under strict control looks like. Number 3. Syria. Syria used to be a bustling hub of history and culture, but now, it's a country ravaged by conflict. For Australians, getting a visa to Syria is nearly impossible these days, and honestly, the risks are just too high. The Australian government strongly advises against all travel to Syria because of the severe security threats. Think terrorism and active war zones. Even if you wanted to visit, most embassies aren't even operational, so where would you get a visa? It's heartbreaking. But Syria is off the travel list for now, and it's hard to say when or if that will change. Number 4. Libya. Libya is another country where just trying to visit is an adventure in itself, one filled with red tape and risks. Since the fall of its former leader back in 2011, Libya has been in turmoil, making it a very dangerous place for anyone to visit. The visa process is known to be a nightmare, with many applications ending in a simple no. And even if you get the visa, you're not out of the woods. The Australian government advises against traveling to Libya because of the high risk of violence and terrorism. The country is divided among rival factions, and the infrastructure is in shambles, so even getting around is a challenge. For Australians, Libya is one of those places that's best admired from afar, for now, anyway. Number 5. Yemen. Yemen, with its stunning landscapes and deep traditions, has sadly become one of the most dangerous places on the planet due to years of civil war. For Australians, traveling to Yemen is not just difficult, it's nearly impossible. The Australian government warns against all travel to Yemen, citing extreme risks from terrorism, violence, and kidnapping. If you somehow manage to secure a visa, the dangers you'll face on the ground are very real. With its ongoing conflict and humanitarian crisis, Yemen is a country that, unfortunately, remains off limits to most travelers. Number 6. Afghanistan. Afghanistan, once known as the crossroads of ancient civilizations, has long been a destination shrouded in both mystery and turmoil. For decades, the country has been a challenging place to visit, but recent developments have made it nearly impossible for Australians, or any foreign nationals, to enter safely. Afghanistan's rich history is steeped in culture, with its ancient cities like Herat and Kandahar bearing witness to thousands of years of civilization. The country has been a center of trade, culture, and empire, from the days of the Silk Road to the reign of the Mughal Empire. However, This historical significance has been overshadowed by decades of conflict and instability. Security risks in Afghanistan are severe and widespread. The threat of terrorism is pervasive, with various militant groups, including ISIS-K and Al-Qaeda, operating within the country. Suicide bombings, kidnappings, and targeted attacks are common, particularly in urban areas like Kabul, Kandahar, and Jalalabad. The Australian government has explicitly warned that they are unable to provide any consular assistance in Afghanistan, further underlining the dangers of travel there. For Australians considering travel to Afghanistan, the visa process itself is a significant barrier. The Australian government advises its citizens to avoid all travel to Afghanistan, meaning that securing a visa is both difficult and highly discouraged. Even before the Taliban's resurgence, obtaining a visa required a complex and often lengthy process, with many applicants facing rejection. The current political climate has only exacerbated these challenges, making it nearly impossible for Australians to receive the necessary travel documentation. In summary, Afghanistan stands as one of the most challenging and dangerous destinations for Australians, or anyone else, to visit. The combination of severe security risks, an unpredictable political climate, and the nearly impossible visa process makes it a country that is, for the foreseeable future, largely off limits to travelers. While Afghanistan's rich history and culture might have once made it an intriguing destination, the reality today is that it is one of the hardest and most dangerous places in the world for Australians to visit. Number 7. Iraq. Iraq, a nation with a civilization dating back to ancient Mesopotamia, holds some of the world's most significant historical and cultural treasures. However, for Australians, visiting Iraq is fraught with challenges and dangers, making it one of the most difficult countries to travel to. Iraq is home to many ancient sites, including Babylon, Ur, and the ancient city of Nineveh. These places are of immense historical importance, offering a glimpse into the early days of human civilization. The country's museums, though often overlooked, house artifacts that chronicle the rise of the first cities and empires. Despite its historical allure, the present-day reality of Iraq makes it a challenging destination for tourists. Obtaining a visa for Iraq is a complex and often frustrating process. For most Australians, getting a visa requires an invitation from a sponsor within Iraq, usually facilitated through a tour operator or a business contact. The process is lengthy, and approvals are not guaranteed. Even if a visa is granted, it often comes with restrictions on movement, particularly in regions outside of Kurdistan. Travelers must be prepared for extensive security checks upon arrival, and any deviation from the permitted travel route can result in serious consequences. Iraq is a predominantly Muslim country with deep-rooted religious traditions. Visitors must be aware of and respect local customs, particularly in terms of dress and behavior. Alcohol is generally prohibited outside of certain areas in Kurdistan, and public displays of affection are frowned upon. Moreover, Iraq's complex religious landscape, with its mix of Shia and Sunni Muslims, as well as smaller Christian and Yazidi communities, requires a nuanced understanding of the country's cultural dynamics. Any perceived disrespect can lead to serious misunderstandings or even danger. Iraq, with its rich tapestry of history and culture, is a country that continues to captivate the imagination of those interested in the cradle of civilization. However, the security challenges, complex visa process, and potential dangers make it a destination that is not for the faint-hearted. Australians considering a trip to Iraq must weigh the risks carefully and ensure that they have taken every possible precaution. Despite the allure of its ancient sites, Iraq remains one of the hardest and most dangerous places for Australians to visit. Number 8. Pakistan. Pakistan is a land of breathtaking landscapes, rich cultural heritage, and a history that spans millennia. From the towering peaks of the Himalayas and the Karakoram Range to the vibrant cities like Lahore and Karachi, Pakistan offers a unique and diverse travel experience. However, for Australians, traveling to Pakistan can be quite challenging, particularly due to security concerns and a sometimes complex visa process. Pakistan is home to some of the world's most stunning natural scenery. The northern areas, particularly around Gilgit-Baltistan, are famous for their majestic mountains, including K2, the second highest peak in the world. The region is a paradise for trekkers and mountaineers, offering unparalleled views and challenging routes. Besides its natural beauty, Pakistan also boasts a rich historical and cultural heritage. The ancient city of Taxila, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the Mughal-era marvels of Lahore, such as the Badshahi Mosque and the Lahore Fort, are just a few of the many historical sites that attract travelers. Despite its attractions, Pakistan poses significant security challenges for travelers, especially in certain regions. The Australian government advises against travel to certain parts of Pakistan, particularly the federally administered tribal areas, FATA, and the border regions with Afghanistan. These areas are known for militant activity and ongoing security operations, making them dangerous for foreign visitors. Even in relatively safer regions, such as the major cities, travelers need to be cautious due to the risk of terrorist attacks, political instability, and sectarian violence. It's essential for Australians to stay informed about the current security situation and to follow the advice of local authorities and the Australian government. Obtaining a visa for Pakistan can be straightforward in some cases, but it often depends on the purpose and duration of your visit. For general tourism, Australians can apply for a visa online through Pakistan's e-visa system. However, if you plan to visit sensitive areas, such as regions near the Afghan border, you will need to apply for additional permits. These permits are not easy to obtain and may require you to provide detailed information about your travel plans, including the purpose of your visit and your contacts in Pakistan. The visa process can be time-consuming, and there is always a possibility of delays or rejections, especially if there are any concerns about the areas you intend to visit. Pakistan is a country of stunning contrasts, where ancient traditions coexist with the challenges of modernity, and natural beauty is matched by significant security concerns. For Australians, traveling to Pakistan can be both rewarding and challenging. While the visa process and security risks can be daunting, those who make the journey often find that the country's warm hospitality, rich culture, and breathtaking landscapes make the effort worthwhile. However, it's crucial to be well prepared, stay informed about the latest travel advisories, and exercise caution at all times. Pakistan offers a unique travel experience, but it's not without its risks, making it a destination for the adventurous and the well-prepared. Number 9. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, a country that has long been shrouded in mystery and tradition, is gradually opening its doors to the world. Known for its vast deserts, rich cultural heritage, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, Saudi Arabia offers a unique glimpse into a society where ancient traditions blend with modernity. However, for Australians, visiting this Middle Eastern nation can be a complex endeavor due to the stringent visa process, cultural expectations, and the country's conservative social norms. Saudi Arabia is currently undergoing significant changes under the Vision 2030 initiative, aimed at reducing its dependence on oil and diversifying its economy. Part of this transformation includes promoting tourism, which was previously restricted to religious pilgrimages and business visits. In 2019, Saudi Arabia launched its tourist visa program, allowing citizens from 49 countries, including Australia, to apply for an e-visa online. This marked a significant shift in the kingdom's approach to tourism, opening up opportunities for Australians to explore its historical sites, vibrant cities, and natural wonders. Despite the introduction of the e-visa, obtaining permission to enter Saudi Arabia can still be a challenging process for Australians. The visa application requires you to provide detailed information about your travel plans, including the purpose of your visit and your accommodation arrangements. While the e-visa is a step towards making the process more accessible, certain factors can complicate your application. For instance, if you have previously visited Israel, your application may face additional scrutiny, and you could be required to provide further documentation or answer more questions. Additionally, Saudi Arabia has strict entry requirements for women traveling alone. Female travelers under the age of 45 must be accompanied by a male guardian or relative, known as a mahram. This rule is part of the kingdom's adherence to Islamic law, which governs many aspects of daily life in Saudi Arabia. The Australian government advises travelers to exercise a high degree of caution when visiting Saudi Arabia due to the potential risks of terrorism, regional tensions, and civil unrest. While the major cities and tourist areas are generally safe, there have been isolated incidents of attacks targeting foreigners in the past. It's crucial for Australians to stay informed about the current security situation and to register their travel plans with the Australian Embassy in Riyadh. In addition, the geopolitical situation in the region can be volatile, with tensions between Saudi Arabia and neighboring countries sometimes leading to sudden changes in the security environment. Travelers should keep an eye on news reports and be prepared to alter their plans if necessary. Number 10. Russia. Russia, a vast country steeped in history, culture, and geopolitical significance, has always been a destination of intrigue for travelers around the world. For Australians, however, visiting Russia has become increasingly complex in recent years due to the deteriorating diplomatic relations and the heightened security concerns stemming from the ongoing geopolitical tensions. While Russia offers a unique experience that blends European and Asian influences, visiting the country requires careful planning, patience, and an understanding of the current political climate. In recent years, relations between Russia and Western nations, including Australia, have become strained. This is primarily due to issues like Russia's involvement in Ukraine, its role in global cyber activities, and its general foreign policy stance. The Australian government has responded by advising its citizens to reconsider their need to travel to Russia. This caution is due not only to the political climate but also to the potential for increased scrutiny and monitoring of foreign visitors, particularly those from countries with which Russia has tense relations. Obtaining a visa for Russia can be a lengthy and complex process. The requirements are stringent, and the application process involves multiple steps, including providing detailed travel itineraries, proof of accommodation, and a formal invitation from a host in Russia, which can be difficult to obtain. Additionally, Australians may find that their visa applications are subject to additional scrutiny, leading to delays or even rejections in some cases. One of the most challenging aspects of the visa process is the requirement for biometric data, which must be submitted at a Russian consulate. This means that Australians must physically visit a consulate, which can be inconvenient for those living in areas without easy access to one. Furthermore, the processing times can be unpredictable, and it's not uncommon for applications to take several weeks or even months to be approved. Russia is a destination that offers unparalleled cultural richness and historical depth, but it is also a country where travel can be fraught with challenges. For Australians, the combination of a complex visa process, heightened security concerns, and strict laws makes it a destination that requires careful consideration and thorough preparation. If you decide to embark on a journey to Russia, make sure you are well prepared for the challenges you may face. Understand the risks, respect the local laws and customs, and stay informed about the latest developments in the region. While the road to Russia may be difficult, the experiences you gain and the stories you bring back could be truly unforgettable.